Hello students, this is Neha Jain from Shivjyoti Educational Group. So children, today we are having the revision of two chapters, that is chapter number 15, that is Introduction to Graphs, and chapter 16, Playing with Numbers. Okay. So first of all, we are just starting with the revision of chapter number 15, Introduction to Graphs. Now children, we will just start with the exercise 15.1. So please open page number 236. We will just go to the first question. So just see, the following graph shows the temperature of a patient in a hospital recorded every hour. So children, you can just see this graph over here. It is given, that is the temperature of a patient is given and it has been recorded per hour. So on y-axis the temperature in degrees Celsius is taken, and on the x-axis we have just taken the time per hour. Okay. So based on this graph we will just answer some questions. So just take out your books and just see the question. So question 1, A part, what was the patient's temperature at 1 p.m? It has been asked that what is the patient's temperature at 1 p.m. So on x-axis children, you can see here the time given is 1 p.m. and you can see across over here that the temperature for 1 p.m. is 36.5 degrees Celsius. So answer for the first part is 36.5 degrees Celsius. Okay. We will just move to the B part now. What was the patient's when was the patient's temperature 38.5 degrees Celsius? Now children, we have to just record the time when the temperature was 38.5 degrees Celsius. So you can see over here that in between 38 and 39 it will be 38.5 degrees Celsius. So you have to you can just see that for 38.5 degrees Celsius the time is 12 noon. So your answer for the second part is 12 noon. Okay. Now just see the C part. The patient's temperature was the same 2 times during the period given. What were these 2 times? Now children, it has been asked that for the 2 times the temperature was constant. So you have to just write the time for that particular temperature. So you can see children that here also it is 36.5 degrees Celsius and here also it is 36.5 degrees Celsius. That is for the 2 times the temperature recorded was the same. And when it was same, so you can see that it was same for the 2 times, that is 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. So your answer is 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Okay. Now just see the D part of this question. What was the temperature at 1:30 p.m? Now children, you have to just find the temperature at 1:30 p.m. So you can just see children over here that in just exactly in middle of 1 and 2 there will be 1:30 p.m. So the temperature for 1:30 p.m. you can just see over here, it lies exactly in between 36 and 37. That is, it is equidistant from 36 and 37. So the temperature recorded for 1:30 p.m. it is 36.5 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now the last part of this question, during which periods did the patient's temperature show an upward trend? Now children, you have to just give the time duration when the temperature has shown the upward trend. So you can just see that is in between from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. then from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and you can just see over here it is from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So there are 3 durations, that is for 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Second one is from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and for the third time it is 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Is it clear? Okay. Now we'll just move to the next question. So please turn your pages. Now please take out page number 243. Okay. Now just see the first question. Plot the following points on a graph sheet. Verify if they lie on a line. So children, what you have to do in this question? Different points has been given to you. X coordinate and the Y coordinates has been given to you, and you have to see after plottation whether these points lie on the same line or not. Okay. So now just see the first part, that is the question number 1, A part. Okay. So please go through the question. It's exercise 15.2, page number 243. So question number 1, A part. The coordinates are A 40, B it is 42, C 46, and D, it is 4 and 2.5. Is it clear? So 4 points has been given to you and you have to plot a graph. So when you are just saying the coordinates on the x-axis, the maximum limit is up till 4, and when you are just observing the y-axis, the maximum limit is up till 6. So now we will just plot the points, children. I am just drawing the rough figure. You can use your bar graphs. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So on x-axis the maximum limit is up till 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And y-axis it is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. So first point is A, that is 4, 0. That is on x-axis it is 4 and on y-axis it is 0. So just see here, on x-axis it is 4 and on y-axis it is 0. So this is the point A, 4, 0. Okay. Now next one is 4, 2. That is on x-axis 4 and on y-axis it is 2. So again see, here it is 4 and here it is 2. So this is the point B, that is 4, 2. Now the next point is 4, 6. So similarly you can plot this point, that is on x-axis it is 4 and on y-axis it is 6. So the point is 4, 6. Now the last is the D point, that is 4 and 2.5. So the coordinate on the y-axis, that is 2.5, will lie exactly in between 2 and 3. That is, it will lie somewhat over here. So this is the point D, that is 4 and 2.5. Now we can join all the 4 points A, B, C, D. So you can see, children, that all the 4 points lie on a same line. So your answer is yes. Is it clear? Okay. Now we'll just move to the next question over here. Now just see question number 2. Draw the line passing through 2, 3 and 3, 2. Find the coordinates of the points at which this line meets the x-axis and y-axis. So children, you can see over here that the 2 points are given to you and you have to plot a graph and you have to answer on x-axis what is the point where they will be meet and on y-axis what are the points where they will meet. Okay. So we'll just plot a graph for question number 2 now. So now just see question number 2. Points are 2, 3 and 3, 2. So now just see, again we are taking the x-axis and the y-axis. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Okay. So we'll just, as you can see, we have to extend the line and just see the point on the x-axis and the y-axis. That means you have to determine the meeting points. So we will extend the limit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. Similarly, I am taking the points on the y-axis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now our first point is 2, 3. That is 2 on x-axis and 3 on the y-axis. So just see, this is the point, this is 2 and this is 3. So the first point is 2, 3. Now our next point to plot is 3, 2. So just see, this is here x-axis, on x-axis it is 3 and on y-axis here it is 2. So this is the point 3, 2. Now what you have to do? You have to just join the points and extend the line where this point will meet on the x-axis and on the y-axis. So we'll just extend. Okay, children, I'm not getting a straight line, but when you will just use your graph paper, you will just get the exact straight line. So the point on the x-axis is phi 0 and the point on the y-axis is 0, phi. That means the coordinate for the x-axis are, that is phi 0, and for y-axis it is 0, 5. Okay, now children, we will just move to the last exercise of this chapter, that is the exercise 15.3. Now please open page number 247. Just see the first question. Draw the graphs for the following tables of values with suitable scales on the axis. Now just see children, now when you are just plotting this graph, you have to just take an appropriate scale before just plotting the graph. So just see the A part over here, that is the table is given to you for number of apples and the cost, and you have to plot a graph using the appropriate scale on the x-axis and on the y-axis. So we'll just see the first part of it, that is the A part. This is the exercise 15.3, page number 247, question number 1, A part. Okay, so you can just refer your table from your book and I will just plot a graph for you. So I am just taking the scale, that is 1 block is equal to 1 apple. Okay, this is for the x-axis, and for y-axis I am just taking the cost. So 1 block is equal to rupees 5. Okay, so it's not at all mandatory that whatever the scale I am choosing, you have to choose that. You can just choose the scale according to your convenience. Okay, so now again we'll just plot a graph. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Okay, so children, whatever the things you are taking on the x-axis, it is compulsory to mention there. Okay, so on x-axis we are taking the number of apples, so you have to write it over here, number of apples. Okay, and on y-axis I am just taking the cost. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I have just taken 1 block is equals to 1 apple. Now on y-axis 1 block is equals to rupees 5. So 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, and here it is 25. Okay, now just see children, that is for number, when the number of apple is 1, cost is rupees 5. So number of apple here is 1 and cost is rupees 5. Now second one is number of apple is 2, so cost has also increased, so it is rupees 10. That is the cost of 2 apples is rupees 10. Now cost for 3 apples is rupees 15. Cost of rupees 4 apples is rupees 20. Cost of 5 apples is rupees 25. Okay, now we can join the points. So you can see children that this is a linear graph. Okay students, now we are starting with exercise 15.3, question 1, C part. So please go through the question. Interest on deposits for a year. So table is given to you, that is deposit and a simple interest. So it has been given that for rupees 1000, simple interest is rupees 80. For rupees 2000 it is 160. For rupees 3000 it is 240. For rupees 4000 it is 320, and for rupees 5000 it is 400. Okay, so you have to, first of all we'll just plot a graph for this table. So please see on the board. First of all we'll just take the appropriate scale. Okay, so I'm just taking 2 block, that is for the x-axis, that is on x-axis 2 block is equal to rupees 80, and on y-axis 2 block is equal to rupees 1000. So before just plotting the graph, children, you have to just choose the appropriate scale, okay? It's not at all mandatory that whatever the scale I have chosen, you have to choose it. You can just choose according to your convenience. So I'm just plotting the graph. So children, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So on x-axis I am just taking the deposits. And it is given 1000, then 2000, that is up to 5000 you have to take, 2000, 3000, 4000 and 5000, and on y-axis we are just taking the simple interest. So it is 80, 160, 240, 320 and 400. Okay, now you have to just plot a graph. So first of all, that is for deposits of rupees 1000, simple interest is rupees 80. So first point, that is on x-axis it is 1000, and on y-axis it is rupees 80. Now second one is, that is for deposits of rupees 2000, the simple interest is rupees 160. So you can see over here, that is for the deposit of rupees 2000, the simple interest is rupees 160. Similarly, you can see that for the deposits of 3000, the simple interest is rupees 240. Similarly, you can see that for rupees 4000, it is 320, and for the deposits of rupees 5000, the simple interest is rupees 4000. Okay, now you can just join the points, children. When you will just join the line, children, you will just get a straight line, that is, you will just get a linear graph. This is a linear graph, that is a straight line is obtained. Okay, I am not having the graph, so you can just plot a straight line on your bar graphs. Okay, now based on this graph, we will just solve some questions. So just see, does the graph passes through the origin? So we can see that the graph passes through the origin. So this is the point 0, 0, that is the origin. So we can say that a graph passes through the origin. Now just see the second part. Use the graph to find the interest of rupees 2500 for a year. Now the deposited amount is given to you and you have to find the simple interest. So we have to find, that is on deposits of rupees 2500, what will be the interest. So you can just see over here, when we just plot it, you can see that it will lie just exactly in the mid of simple interest 160 and 240. So you can just find the point. How to find the point now? That is 240 plus 160 upon 2, because it exactly lie in between 160 and 240. So it will be the midpoint of 160 and 240. So how to find it out? That is 240 plus 160 upon 2, which comes out to be 400 upon 2, which is equals to rupees 200. That means that for deposit of rupees 2500, the interest would be rupees 200. Is it clear? So your answer is, that is simple interest is rupees 200. Now like I see the last part of this question, to get an interest of rupees 280, how much money should be deposited? Now it is just the vice versa of your previous part. In the previous part, it has been asked that the deposit was given to you and you were asked to find the simple interest. Now the simple interest is given to, and you have to just find the deposited amount. So here the simple interest given is rupees 280. It means it will lie just exactly in the middle of 240 and 320. So we can just extend the line and find the deposited amount for the simple interest of rupees 280. So we can just find it out. It will exactly lie in middle of 3000 and 4000, that is 3500. That is, when the simple interest is rupees 280, then the deposited amount should be 3500. Is it clear, children? So I hope that what we have studied in this chapter, it is quite clear to you. Now we'll study the next chapter for revision, that is chapter 16, playing with numbers.